Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television live from Lagos. Speaking of which, here are a few pictures sent in by our eyewitness reporters on the field. First is this one of a network mast which crashed after a rainstorm in Zaria, Kaduna State. Our eyewitness reporter wonders how firm masts around the country are. He also pleads with those in charge to ensure a good foundation is laid before these masts are erected, especially the ones in residential areas. Talking about falling, that might just happen to this electricity pole in this next picture. The pole is very close to Auchi Polytechnic's main gate in Edo State. Our eyewitness reporter says it's been like this for years. With residential houses close to the death trap, our reporter draws the attention of concerned authorities as this could be disastrous if it falls. Finally is this unbelievable sight of a house under a high-tension cable in Dogawa, Sabongeri, Zaria. Our eyewitness reporter attributes this to improper planning and says this should never be allowed. Thank you for sending in those pictures. We do expect that you keep them coming. Back to the Eid-el-Fitr celebrations, Nigerians need to live in peace and harmony according to the tenets of Islam and to give meaning to the Ramadan fast. Part of this is an obligation on the Muslims to celebrate with one another and share with the needy around them. Our next report by our correspondent Temple Ashaju captures the mood in the Agege area of Lagos, southwest Nigeria.
Eid-el-Fitr is the Islamic festive celebration that comes after the month of Ramadan, a 30-day period of fasting. Observed by Muslim faithful after sighting the moon, the season comes with acts of charity toward one another.
The whole major essence of Ramadan, beyond the purity that brings to the Muslim or the fasting person, is also an opportunity for you to empathize with people who actually don't have means of getting 3 square meal. So you know what it takes to have that path of hunger. So that is why in celebrating the Eid-el-Fitr, it is also compulsory and obligatory for an average fasting person.
And since it's an obligation, Muslim faithful in Lagos made this spiritual demand a reality in their various ways. Leaders like the State House of Assembly Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, relates the Eid-el-Fitr celebration to the state of insecurity in the northern part of the country.
So we should all strive, to embrace peace, most especially with attack from the fanatics, the insurgents rampaging all over the northern part of the country. We should advise them to lay down their hands and embrace peace.
The ethics of Islam, there is nothing that actually calls for killing of other people because of religion. Those are satanic, and I don't think there is any religion or faith in that.
The significance of Eid-el-Fitr for Muslim faithful is in the fact that it marks the end of fasting in the month of Ramadan for that faithful, while it also draws him or her closer to God during and after the celebration. He or she is expected to continue to live in peace and harmony with his or her neighbors. From Lagos, Nigeria, Temple Ashaju, Channels Television News.
We're staying with religious matters. Former head of state, retired General Yakubu Gowon, has urged Nigerian pilgrims to always remember to pray for the nation whenever they embark on the holy exercise. General Gowon emphasized this at a meeting with some Jerusalem pilgrims in Abuja, where he said prayer is necessary as the nation fights insurgency by Boko Haram.
I would strongly enjoin pilgrims to see their journey to the Holy Land as an opportunity to intercede in prayers for Nigeria, but not to be drawn into the politics of the region, especially at this time when we are under the siege of insurgents who can at best be described as outlaws without belief in the supremacy of the Almighty God, or Allah, as we know it in various parts of the country. Peace in our land is what we can bring about, that can bring about prosperity. can bring about growth and development in all aspects of our endeavors as human beings.
Former Head of State General Yakubu Gowon. In other news, the Delta State government has met with stakeholders in the state's transportation sector with a view to tackling the challenges to the planned bus rapid transit scheme. The meeting, which held at Government House Annex in Uvwie, was presided over by the Deputy Governor, Mr. Kingsley Otaro. He said the meeting was to determine feasibility of the BRT project.
Land transportation in Delta State, South Nigeria, is mainly dependent on tricycles, commercial motorcycles, and the hard-to-get government's Delta line that moves within and outside the state. The government plans to introduce a bus rapid transit scheme, popularly known as BRT, into the system to ease the problems of transportation in the state. However, in Uvwie local government, there are still bottlenecks in the plan that must be sorted for the scheme to begin.
We are going to keenly look at all of the comments and remarks that have been made years on this project and take a position as a government to see how and going forward move Uvwie as well as the whole of Uvwie into the desired scheme.
I want to say that this is one project that will be very good for us. This is one project that will, add more artistic and ease of transport to the local government. But in any case, I want to believe that some of the problems we have at the moment are project hiccups. Those are the issues. Usually for every project, there are peculiar problems.
All over the world, especially in developed economy, BRT exists. I don't see why worry and effluent should not be. It's not be an exception. But a lot still depends on the fund to drive it. Is the fund available? So that's the issue. So if the fund is available and the project is worth the while, why not?
In his presentation, the representative of the BRT contracting firm, Mr. Pt.2 assures of the viability of the scheme.
There is no country anywhere before. Cities that are taking mass transit system everywhere. To move their people to school, to home, to hospital, and for various activities. But in Nigeria, and most part of Africa, unfortunately, we rely more on personal cars. And of course, this is not a sustainable public transport system. And that's why most of our cities that we see today, they are usually not the system.
Residents of the area expressed dissatisfaction with the planned BRT scheme.
I don't know what to inform them of what they are doing now. This is not what we want. Let there be a good road for people to pass. People are hungry. You are wasting money for all these ones.
They not plan well before they establish the road, and it's too narrow. Before you can do anything like this, you're supposed to extend the road. So they extend the first. You don't just come from nowhere just want to do one place. It's too close. So as it can cause go slow, it can cause anything. So it's better to cancel it or they extend the road.
Government may have to tackle the issues raised to arrive at a position that will be beneficial to the people and create even development in the area.
In no distant time, the streets of Calabar in Cross River State will be completely rid of miscreants and street children, popularly referred to as Colombo boys, who have for some time now been threatening normal living in the state. This is according to the governor, Ben Ayade, who was addressing officers and men of the state's quick response squad set up to tackle the menace of the miscreants. The governor also pledged to strengthen and empower security agencies in the state.
Once upon a time, the streets of Calabar was a peaceful sight to behold, but it has now fallen time and again to the hands of a dreaded and notorious gang widely known as the Colombo Boys. It was gathered that this gang came into force as a result of children who were driven away from home, and now the streets is home for many of them.
They should give them and work. Those are small. They should send them to school.
Recently, the Colombo boys have unleashed fears in the minds of residents with torching tales of looting of shops, snatching of handbags, pickpocketing and other criminal activities.
Population within the Calabar metropolis is unwelcome. It's something that government should not tolerate or fold their hands. They should try to do something about it because a lot of people are complaining.
As a lawmaker, I think we'll come out with a law that will come out in a way of rehabilitating them, confining them, and maybe also exposing some of them who will be willing to learn trade and also engaging them, something that will make them not be a nuisance in the society.
In an apparent resentment of this unpleasant trend, the Cross River State government now launches Operations Colombo, a zero-tolerance campaign against the activities of the gang.
The Operations Colombo, which is our own action way of tackling the menace of Colombo boys, and indeed all the other nefarious activities. Once you confront them headlong, in no distant time, all of that will disappear from the streets of Calabar. We're ready to give our right eye to sustain the credibility that that name, that signature has built and sustained over the years. So we would like all of you to work very hard, and we're going to support you. We've heard your complaints. We're going to support you to ensure that you do your very best.
While the new security outfit, Operations Colombo, poises for the showdown against this notorious gang before the first 100 days in office, sustaining a coordinated approach that will stamp out the activities of this gang is the wish of many residents of Calabar.
We'll take a detour now to look at how Lagosians celebrated this holiday. They observed the Eid-el-Fitr with a lot of celebrations, in fact, for many of them, families and holidaymakers found at fun spots across the state.
It's the second day of Eid-el-Fitr and Lagosians are still taking it all in. At this recreation center in Alausai, Keja, fun seekers gather to relax and enjoy this ambience with a cozy play area for children. According to them, it's a time to unwind with family and friends.
I'm here with my daughter to have fun. Because of the holiday, there's time. And we were getting bored at home, so I just brought her here with my friend to have fun.
We're having a good time. Due to the stress of work and everything, we try to use the opportunity of the holidays to come and have fun. And I've been seeing this place for a while, and I decided to bring down my kids to have fun.
And here in Maryland, Lagos, more fun lovers have come to enjoy some excitement. Children in bouncing castles and swimming pool. These holiday makers speak of their experiences.
As you can see, it's a very beautiful place. It's a nice place to relax with your family and have a nice time. So we're here today to have a nice time.
I think this is an ideal place to celebrate with children. As you can see children around.
And as the long weekend continues, more people may still make this holiday one to remember.
Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano says his order still stands that tanker drivers in the state must desist from plying the roads in the daytime and only at night. The governor also cautioned heavy-duty truck drivers to drive carefully to avoid a recurrence of the ghastly accident that claimed 32 lives at Eyewitness area of the state. He said this during the mass burial for victims burnt beyond recognition in the tanker inferno.
An opportunity to once more re-emphasize what we've been talking about, safety in the state. We quickly stopped tanker drivers from delivering fuel during the day. We stopped them from doing that. And they should deliver fuel to filling stations at night so that these roads are a little freer. What we did was for the parts of the body that is not fully burned, we took specimen. That specimen is already labeled and we preserved at the Onitsha General Hospital for 10 years.
Still ahead of the news at 10, analysts recommend single appropriation process for plugging revenue leakages. That's in a moment. Please join us again.